Welcome to Heart to Talk, the podcast. I am the host and creator, Teresa Caesar. My intention for this podcast is to deliver to you wisdom, inspiration, and consciousness through solo episodes and conversations amongst insightful people. It is my greatest honor to bring to you talks that come from the heart. Amazing listeners, welcome to another episode with me. I'm so grateful to have you here sharing this sacred space with me. Today's episode is all about the energy and process of becoming, what it means to evolve, release old versions of ourselves, and step into the highest, most aligned vision for our lives. Over the past 5 years, my journey has been a cycle of growth, recalibration, and alignment. As I've transformed, I have learned that becoming isn't only about adding more, but it's actually about letting go, releasing, and making space to welcome your next version. If you feel called and ready to step into your next level, your next version of yourself, or you're ready to change the energy in a particular area of your life, whether it's finances, your health, your career path, this conversation, I think, will land for you. So friends, I'm so excited. Let's get started and dive in. Okay, so I am recording this episode Sunday, July 27th. Sundays are really special for me. I call them Sacred Sundays. And the theme of this episode is the sacred process of becoming. And when you define sacred, we all might have our own definitions or description for it. For me, it just means just deeply valued, respected, special. And it's really powerful to know what you hold sacred and to find places and spaces that are sacred, because it's in that space where we evolve, where we get clarity, and where all the magic happens. Think about it, the things that are important to you, whether it's like a date night with your partner, or celebrating your birthday, or going to church, or visiting a loved one at a grave. That's a sacred time, right? Or you might hold certain values sacred. What is sacred to you? So again, I love Sundays. They're sacred for me because I closing out one week, but about to enter the next. And it's a real powerful place. I like to use this day as a day of deep reflection, but also dive into gratitude and like high five myself for all the wins, for showing up when maybe it wasn't so easy, and for all the goals I've accomplished. And then I also recalibrate and give myself space and time to set my intentions for the week, my goals, and look at the calendar. It's really important to give yourself this time, sacred space, one day of the week, and a Sunday or Monday, whatever feels aligned for you, to really set forth and set the tone and plan out and think. Because otherwise, if you don't give yourself space and time and write out what you need to do, what are your goals, what are you grateful for, or, whatever that is for you that you feel like you need to write out, life is running you. You're not running your life. And that's when we start to get stress, anxiety, we drop balls, and all of that. So Sacred Sundays, again, I reflect, I plan my week, but I actually invite silence. I light my candle and I just sit there. And it took a long time for me to become a person that is comfortable in stillness and silence. And I work on it all the time. Like my rest is a sacred practice, but it's a practice because I literally feel like I can't stop moving. I always have to be cooking something, cleaning something, creating something, because I feel like if I'm not, I'm slacking and I'm lazy and I'm behind. So I have really given myself permission to make Sundays that day to do nothing, sit still. And in that space, like clarity comes, creativity. That's when I create a lot of my content for the week, like all my affirmations that I post. And I love actually recording podcasts as well. I feel like Sundays are typically when I record because I have just aligned my energy and debated myself. And if you've been on this journey listening to the podcast, I don't hit record because I have to. I hit record because I feel called and I want to. And I'm excited and it feels just like I have to do this. This is when I'm creating and delivering and speaking with the ideas, the content, or even with guests. That's when I feel closest to my soul's purpose and my creator. It's so magical. And that's why I'll always be, interviewing, questioning people, being curious and sharing what I have learned and mastered with the world, whether it's with my kids, a best friend, or on this scale, the podcast. And here we are. Again, I'm recording this podcast July 27th. This is 5 years of Heart to Talk podcast. And I created this at that time because it was COVID. And I was like, there's no excuse now. Like, I actually have time. What is something I've always wanted to do and that I love? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with like people and interviewing them. And just, I'm so curious and inspired by people's stories. I just love people. So I created a platform where I could do that. There's that saying, like, if there's something you desire or want or need, be the one to create it. And I needed this for myself so that I could literally go back and remind myself of certain amazing people that I know or meet or have met along the way that have done it, showed up for life, overcame something, created something to stay inspired. I live for it. And that is literally what gets me to show up on the days where I am not feeling it. Because it is easy to show up for work, the relationship, for yourself when you're feeling great. But I do feel like 9 times out of 10, we actually wake up, a little tired, maybe not feeling good, stressed, all those things. And the work that I have created with affirmations helps me to set the tone, reprogram the vibe for the day. Like, today's going to be amazing. I'm going to change that energy. I can decide the vibe I want to attract. And so I had learned that freaking works, like reprogramming my subconscious mind. The subconscious part of your mind is the automatic parts of you, right? That just you go, you do how you are, your personality. And so when I realized that I can literally create a new belief, a new thought, life-changing. Who I was when I started this podcast, when I created Affirmation Babe, it was a different person. Yes, there are still parts of me where people know me and have known me forever. Like, girl, you're still the same. Because I'm like goofy and all the things. People recognize my voice and they walk into the room and they hear me talking. But I have actually literally changed so much. And I intentionally wanted to change. Some things I just changed subconsciously because I created new habits, new beliefs, new stories, perspectives. But I also said on purpose, I want to become this, and I made it happen. I want to be like that. Because here's the thing. It's an excuse to just say, I'm just that way, or my family's like this, or this is passed down to me. You literally have a conscious choice to become any version you want. And I had done that. I've become a host, a multimedia host, not only of this show. I host segments with local news stations. I have had many more opportunities that so I speak because I became that version of myself. I stepped into it. I first had the idea and then I took action and I made it happen. And I every day showed up as her, right? I became her. And in the becoming, 5 years goes by, who I was when I created podcast and Affirmation Babe. I was a different version because when I first started, it was, I needed it. And I was healing myself as I created. It gave me just purpose. I also had something to prove, like prove to myself. I had a different energy. Sometimes we operate out of old energy into who we are now, and it doesn't match. So that's what was happening. I was doing kind of the same routine, the same beliefs, and that has been powerful. My habits, routines literally have been on autopilot, and I don't even have to be motivated, but because I'm so programmed and disciplined, it just happens, right? And that's a powerful place to be. But it's also knowing when you're like on the treadmill and not really going up, but just staying, plateauing. So I invited myself to just really feel, who am I becoming now? Because I became the woman of my dream, the person 5 years ago that I set out to be. I changed literally so many things about myself in such a powerful way, become courageous, unstoppable, a powerful manifester, overcame the divorce, the challenges of just all of that. And here I am now. And it's like, what's my why now? How do I want to lead? You think of who you want to be, your next level, whether it's your business or in your relationships or in your body. And you picture that. So just say, for example, I'm becoming a powerful entrepreneur, a self-made millionaire. Let's just say that's my becoming statement. I'm becoming a woman who holds on to abundance and multiplies it. I am becoming the version of me that can travel anywhere she wants. And for me, this next season of my becoming is really going to be focused on that financial empowerment. And so for you, is it manifesting love? Is it manifesting a healthy body or health or a career, whatever that is? So you think of, who do you have to become to be that version of yourself? What do you have to let go of? Who can't come with you? So Teresa, now that's going to become a self-made millionaire, whether it's in my business, the job I have, the combination, or I leave room for the universe to freaking surprise and delight me, because God's dream is literally bigger than my dream. And that's the one powerful thing as we move and creating and manifesting and being goal-oriented and having that vision. It's also leaving a lot of space for the universe, God, whatever higher power, your creator, to literally blow your mind. And this whole process, I call it a sacred process, because there's moments and times where I'm like, oh my God, am I going backward? Because I'm like, I don't have that same like need to prove energy. And I really, 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 really now pinned it on passion, where I'm like, I'm going to literally follow my bliss and my passion and have a lot of fun and joy. Because I feel like the first 5 years was using my pain and something to prove to people, to myself. And I can't use that same energy in who I'm becoming now. And especially if I want to be that version. So that Teresa that was before almost like can't come with me. She died, and that's kind of sounds really morbid, but so you think of that for you. Like if you want to be someone who has no drama in their life, who has financial empowerment and is getting rid of DEBT, which is debt, or has an incredible job they love, like who do you have to become? And I'm talking details, like the minute you wake up, what is that person thinking? What is that person eating? Who is that person, or what are you interacting? What are you consuming? What are you eating? All of those teeny details matter. All of that matters. So if I want to become a self-made millionaire, I got to heal my money mindset. Because if I can't hold what I make annually right now, or I don't let my money know it's safe and I don't respect it, same thing in a relationship or love or yourself. So if you're someone who doesn't love and respect themselves, even though you think you are, but do you let people take advantage of you? So that right there is not the energy moving forward that's going to allow you to become that future version. So instead of being like, when I get there or when I become that millionaire, I'm like, no, I'm her now, right? I'm a woman who has love now. I'm a woman who has deep connections with her kids. I'm a woman who works her 9 to 5 job, which I'm so grateful for, and also has a business. And I am creating the identity based on my authentic vision. So that is another piece to this, where don't jump onto someone else's dream or vision that they have for you, or somebody else's, that's theirs. But you can't have their dream. So that's why sometimes this whole process requires you to just really sit still and be really, really quiet in your thoughts to be like, what is it you really want? You might not want the big house or the fancy car or making 7 figures, and that's okay too. Maybe for you, it's you want to travel, or you want love, or just health, And so again, it's like, who is Teresa going to be? My becoming. What's the sacred process of becoming financially so empowered? And that next level in my business, sometimes resistance will come up and you make excuses. It's really being honest. What has to change? What parts of Teresa can't come? What people can't come? That's the other thing to this as well. Like, there's probably not only a version of yourself that can no longer come with you, but it's people, relationships, it's what habits. It's all of that. It is literally like you try it for one day and you see your life shift. Like you act like that version of yourself. Again, becoming is not what you add. It's a sacred process of releasing what no longer serves you, honoring the versions of yourself that belong in the past, and giving yourself space to realign your energy for what's next. Because that's alignment. When you're like, this feels good, and now I move, and then it's smooth. But if you have roadblocks, it feels icky, you're out of alignment. Intentionally let go of those old patterns, identities, and energies, slowing down to speed up, sometimes downsizing your commitments and energy in order to expand in another direction. So from the outside, people are like, oh my God, like you haven't been launching podcasts, or I don't see you online. But really what's behind the scene is more powerful, right? And it's trusting like your own process in yourself. So embracing the process and knowing that it's blessed, and that when you move in that, it will be aligned, and that it's sacred. This path opens a portal to divine possibilities and really introduces quantum transformation. That is like that next level where you're like an idea pops in, or the answer, or the clarity, or just that feeling of what you know, you will embody the energy. So again, it introduces quantum transformation mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Becoming is a living choice. Allow your future self to emerge by just trusting your sacred unfolding. Usually around this time, so we have 6 months left, right, for a new year. And this is the time where I start feeling like, what's the energy I'm going to move forward? So authenticity is a word that comes to mind, and where I'm like, I am becoming so more myself than ever before. I notice that sometimes I will adapt or rearrange or present a version that I feel like will be validated, accepted, and approved by family, friends, my audience, instead of being like, girl, just say what's the truth. And it might make somebody uncomfortable, but that's where the magic is, because that's your truth. So I am practicing that authentic piece, even in this podcast, even more so. Like, I have so many incredible episodes that I've written up, but I haven't recorded because, I don't know if you know this, but I actually do all my own editing, producing, all of that. And it takes so much work. And again, because I'm like, it has to be perfect, I have to edit it. I can't say, I have to make sure, like, if I'm not making sense, I cut that piece out. And I like to really wrap it in a pretty package and present it to you all beautiful, because I have, like, honestly, the most utmost respect, and I honor you. Like, I value your time. I'm not going to give you something that I feel is a waste of time for my ego. This is why it's called Heart to Talk. Everything I put out comes from my heart. And that's why if I'm not pushing out something, because it's not coming from my heart. And that is authenticity. So I am becoming the most authentic version of myself. I'm becoming that financially empowered version of myself, healing my money mindset. The universe will literally give you like the same lesson over and over till you heal it. And sometimes we actually are handed down the dramas, the traumas, the things that actually our ancestors carried. So I'm born, I'm living my life. Yeah, I have my things I'm learning in my soul's journey and evolution, like what I came here to heal and become and my purpose. And so I know that I am here to heal my family's financial abundance and negativity, toxic cycles of people and all of that, like learning how to like throw a boundary and to create peace. And so I've done that piece, and they say that you actually heal like 7 generations back. So when you are entering your becoming, remember to tell your ancestors to reveal like what is it that, because a lot of times the subconscious patterns that are in our way of the next evolution aren't necessarily visible. So that's why like you got to be conscious. Like I see this, or I'm looking and I'm going to fix this. And that's why I use affirmations, because you literally like are programming yourself. So you can use that and invite your ancestors. Like I literally, it sounds so woo and out there, but I'll be like, Grandma, I'm going to cry talking about it. But at the end of her life, the drama and the traumas that she dealt with my grandpa and their marriage, and then my uncle. But because she enabled it, because she was so looped in that toxic cycle, I had to stay away from her. But my soul and her soul are always connected. I had to stay away from people I loved for peace. And she was one of them that I just was like, Grandma, like, you're like choosing this or you're thinking this way. And it was like so negative. But in a weird way, I feel bonded. And I dedicate my healing to her, because I think of like, I didn't think I would cry in this episode, but I think of when I'm becoming this version of myself, like it's not just for me. And I have my grandma's picture right in front of me as I'm recording this episode. And I'm like, this is like bigger than life right here. It's like healing back the darkness, the heaviness of our lineage. And so when I see her and I just know like her struggles and her trauma, and I'm just like, Grandma, like this is literally for us. So as you're becoming and healing, you pick your why, right? Your devotion. What is it for? And then it's for her. My grandma represents those women, those 7 generations, and I know it. And so when I had to stand up to a marriage that was from the outside looked perfect, but the inside wasn't healthy, and change that healed the family. And when I had to learn how to, go out into the world, be the first to graduate, different things have changed our family forever and will impact in the most positive way. So thank you so much for just sharing this sacred space with me, whether you've been on since the beginning, a couple years in, or just started listening. Thank you again for being on this journey of becoming with me. And just remember that your becoming is blessed and sacred. It's about honoring what you've outgrown and courageously stepping into your highest vision every day, from every detail of what you eat, what you think, who you're around, your everyday choices. And lastly, to guide you on this journey, I've created something for myself, and that is my affirmation deck. And I love using it every morning. And sometimes if I need a boost, I'll do it at night. But again, if you're thinking like, I don't know what to think, what to say, and you feel overwhelmed, because you're still learning how to really let the clarity come through of what your affirmations will be or your intentions. I have a powerful signature affirmation deck of 48 affirmations that I literally have created for myself in the last 5 years that has allowed me to really become this version of myself. And my affirmation deck, you can get them on my website. The link is here in the show notes. And how I use it is I will just light my candle in the morning, pray over them, and I shuffle them up, spread them out, and I choose 3. And those are my intentions for the day. And then when you step into that, it is so incredible how your energy shifts, what you attract, and the results of your day. You start making different choices and notice things that are connected to that affirmation. So explore my affirmation deck to guide your mornings and program your mind for powerful transformation in your becoming. Until next time, I honor you and your sacred path of becoming. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Please download, rate, subscribe, and share this podcast. Also, be sure to visit my website at teresacaesar.com to check out my inspirational merch, connect to my social accounts, and much more. May you continue to be filled with wisdom, inspiration, and consciousness. Otherwise, friends, I will be back for another episode of Heart to Talk.